How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going against Petaya54 from the Discord server, but they also have a YouTube channel, so I'll link that in the description. Go check them out. Let me know who you think is going to win based on the teams you see on screen right now, and please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. With that being said, let's jump into the game. And the battle begins. So Petaya, or Adam even, is going to lead off with the Claydol, as we led off with our Purugly. So Purugly is a decent one here because we can fake out it to stop it going for a Stealth Rock's first turn. And we can also go for a U-turn, which is going to do a decent chunk of damage to it on the switch. So we'll go for a fake out real quick and see what kind of moves this Claydol is going to go for. There we go, fake out comes through. It's Silk Scarf boosted, so it does a decent chunk of damage. As the next turn, we're going to go ahead and go for a U-turn. So U-turn it is. U-turn is time. U-turn is time. So we'll go for a U-turn. That's going to do a solid chunk of damage to the Claydol, which is just great. As now they're more than likely going to go for a Stealth Rocks. More than likely. So Exeggutor is obviously going to play a big role in this team, in this game, because obviously they're a mono ground team. They're a mono ground team. So this thing probably packing Ice Beam, but it's fine. They go for a Sandstorm, which is interesting. More than likely we're going to see a Smooth Rock on them, but that's absolutely fine. Sandstorm is not too big of a deal, to be honest with you. So what we can do now is we can go straight for a substitute, as it's very likely they're going to switch out. If they don't switch out, at least we get to scout what kind of move they're going to go for. They're going to withdraw the Claydol, which is great. So that's a free substitute for us and a free attack on whatever we want to go for. So they bring in Nidoking, which is absolutely fine. Stealth Rocks. Sandstorm's going to dig in towards after we set up this substitute, which is going to bring us closer to our Petaya Berry, which is great. The substitute is a brilliant one for us here. So we're going to go straight for a Psychic. Psychic should do a lot of damage to this Nidoking, maybe even KO it. I'm not sure on that one. As they go for a Sludge Wave, that's obviously going to break our substitute, no problems there. It shouldn't do it should be fine. It should be fine, really. So substitute's going to come in, and we're going to go for a Psychic real quick and get some damage off on this Nidoking. Hopefully we get the KO. We do get the KO on the Nidoking. It was a critical hit. Don't know whether that mattered because, I mean, Exeggutor has really good special attack, you know. So that's pretty awesome. I love facing monotype teams, you know, because I love seeing the creative ways where they get around the weaknesses and stuff. Like, obviously, they've got Torterra, which accounts for their water weakness to an extent. They've got Gastrodon, which accounts for their water weakness. Torterra also accounts for the grass weakness as well. So this thing's probably got X's or the Poison Jab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to anticipate that, and I'm going to go into my Arcanine. There we go. Going to withdraw Exeggutor. We're going to Arcanine. We're going to be able to get an Intimidate off, which is great. And we should be able to resist this X's or / Poison Jab. Poison Jab we don't resist, but it won't do too much damage to us because we're physically defensive after all. They go for a Swords Dance. That is not good. That is not good at all. So they are probably going to be very confident in the fact that they can go for a Earthquake this next turn. Now, I'm very confident that Arcanine can live an Earthquake. I will have to double check that, though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out into Togekiss. Togekiss can obviously take an Earthquake. We've got to play very carefully with this Sand Slash right now. So they go for a Rock Slide. We're going to avoid that nicely. Go for a Stone Edge, mate, because Rock Slide will miss just as much, trust me. And the payoff's better with Stone Edge. The payoff is much better. So Rock Slide is fine. We're going to go straight for a Dazzling Gleam. I can't see Togekiss being too useful this game, so I'm going to go straight for the Dazzling Gleam. We can definitely take a Rock Slide from this thing. They go for another Swords Dance. That is terrifying. That's a +3 Sand Slash right there. A +3 Sand Slash. We're going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Should do a solid amount of damage. It does half, which is great. As it turns out, they have a Citrus Berry, which is just fine. That means there's no Life Orb, which is, you know, great for us. Now, we are physically defensive, so we should be able to take at least one Rock Slide from a +3 Sand Slash that doesn't have Life Orb or anything like that. So that's great. And I'm thinking we just go straight for the Dazzling Gleam this next turn. So let's go for the Dazzling Gleam and see what they do. I'm pretty sure they're just going to try a Rock Slide again. They go for another Rock Slide. It's going to not KO us because we're physically defensive AF, and we're going to flinch, right? Where we flinched. We flinched! Of course we flinched! Of course we flinched! Why else? Oh, you know what? You know what? That's not funny. That is not funny at all. I heard you laughing back there. So, expecting a Rock Slide now. What do we do here? What do we do? We go for a Dazzling Gleam. That's all I can think to do. They go for a Rapid Spin to get the KO, which is going to boost their speed even further. So they've got backup if... We're going to get swept by a Sand Slash, aren't we? we're actually about to get swept by Sandslash. So Sandstorm subsides, which is great. Exeggutor it is. So they've got Rapid Spin, they've got Swords Dance, they've got Rock Slide, and they've got Earthquake. We should be able to take a Rock Slide because we are physically defensive. I believe. Are we physically defensive? We are physically defensive, so we can go for a Giga Drain now, and it should KO the Sandslash. We can definitely take a Rock Slide from this thing, no problems. They're going to go for the Rock Slide and miss. Again, we were taking that. We're physically defensive. We were definitely taking that. So Exeggutor's going to claim another soul. You love to see it. You love to see it. So Sandslash goes down. That's what you get for running Rock Slide. No, I'm joking. But having X-Scissor on there would have been a lot better. I mean, your team's not really weak to Stealth Rock, so I wouldn't have put Rapid Spin on there personally. I would have put the Grass-type coverage move, being X-Scissor, on there. You know, you're going to be able to hit things like the Breloom and stuff like that for a better damage. Or even Poison Jab. Poison Jab would probably be better, because then you can hit the Fairies, you can hit the Breloom for super effective damage. This thing's going to come in. Now, I know I can take an Icicle Crash from this thing. I know full and well I can take an Icicle Crash. It's whether I want to or not. So, with that in mind, we go for another Giga Drain. Now, we preserve Exeggutor. We're expecting an Icicle Crash, so we're going to go into our Arcanine, get some nice Intimidate prowess off of the Mamoswine over there. Intimidate's going to be great here. We can definitely take an Earthquake from this thing as well if they decided to switch up moves. Icicle Crash is going to do nothing to us. Absolutely nothing. And as you can tell by that damage, the Earthquake won't do much damage either. So we're probably going to see a switch into Gastrodon here. So with that in mind, I'm thinking about just going straight into our Exeggutor again. But we're probably safer just going straight for a Flare Blitz because they're probably going to Earthquake. They're not. They're going to switch out into Gastrodon, I'm going to guess. They're going to go into Shelby. Shelby is, of course, the Gastrodon. So Shelby comes in. Shelby the Gastrodon comes in. We're going to go ahead and go for a Flare Blitz real quick. Boom. No damage whatsoever, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So we get the burn as well, which is really good. So the other thing I was going to go for was the Will-O-Wisp. Just, you know, just to get some chip damage off on the Gastrodon every turn. But now that's just worked out really nicely for us, as they actually have leftovers themselves. She's going to recover some of their HP gradually, but the burn negates that, which is just great. So no leftovers recovery for you, Mr. Gastrodon. So we're in a bit of a bind now because we don't want to take an Earthquake to the face. An Earth Power, sorry. There we go. We're going to Exeggutor real quick. Exeggutor is the perfect switch here because we can set up a substitute on this thing and go from there. So we're going to Exeggutor real quick like so. They go for an Ice Beam expecting the switch. That's fair enough. It's not going to do too much damage to us. As this next turn, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight for a Giga Drain because nothing on their team wants to come in on a Giga Drain at all. They have no switch-ins whatsoever to a Giga Drain. Gastrodon is definitely slower than an Exeggutor. I've got no qualms there. We should be able to take another Ice Beam as well. So Giga Drain is definitely the best bet, I think. So they are going to withdraw their Gastrodon. What are they going to go into? They're going to go into what? Mamoswine? Turtle Soup. That's the Torterra, right? Yeah. Torterra comes in. And as we know, Torterra is a very bulky Pokemon. And we can go for a Giga Drain right now. It's going to do a solid amount of damage to them. Solid amount of damage to them. And recover some nice HP back for us as well. So, what do we expect from the Torterra other than a Stealth Rocks? I would shudder to guess the Stealth Rocks is coming through. So, with that in mind, I'm thinking we go straight into Feraligatr and go for an Ice Punch. I think that's the play. That's definitely the play. Go for an Ice Punch with the Feraligatr. So we're going to Feraligatr real quick. Nice and shiny, nice and green. Gotta love it. As they go straight for a Rock Polish. Oh no, Rock Polish, really? That's tough. That's a tough one. So Rock Polishing Torterra probably has Crunch. We're going to get smacked in the face with a Wood Hammer right now. I'm thinking we have to sack something now. No, if they're going for Wood Hammer, we go into Arcanine. We definitely go into Arcanine here. So we'll go into Arcanine real quick. There we go. Arcanine comes through. Arcanine comes through. Get the Intimidate off, which is great because they have no way of boosting their attack stat. Unless the Swords Dance as well. They go for a Wood Hammer. That's going to do minimal damage to us. And we can definitely take an Earthquake as well. Recoil damage is going to be nice on the Turtle Soup as well. But they do have the leftovers, which is going to recover some of that recoil damage as well. So that's fine. That's absolutely fine. What we can do now is we can just go ahead and go for a Flare Blitz. Flare Blitzer. Flare Blitzer. I see no reason not to. It's going to do some decent damage to the Gastrodon. They go for an Earthquake. We're going to definitely be able to take that, barely. But it's worth it because we're going to get the Flare Blitz off, which in turn, the recoil from that is going to destroy us. So the Flare Blitz comes through, gets the KO on the Torterra. I had no problems with that, as we're going to go down to the Flare Blitz recoil. So that was pretty much the only use we had for Arcanine, taking out the Torterra. So that's great. That worked out nicely for us. Really nicely. So, we've got a choice here. And I think the choice is to go into Purugly. I think Purugly is definitely the best one here. We're going to be able to break the Mamoswine Sash. They do go into the Mamoswine, which is great. As we can go for a Fake Out real quick and just break its Focus Sash, I guess. Break its Focus Sash and potentially go for a Body Slam to paralyze it, potentially. There we go. Go for a Fake Out real quick. That's going to do a solid chunk of damage to them, and it's going to flinch them. We're going to go for a Body Slam, just to see if we can get the paralysis, because that would be really nice. They go for their own Body Slam. Wasn't expecting that. Wait, how did that... How did it outspeed us? Is it Choice Scarfed? It's Choice Scarfed Mamoswine with Body Slam. Oh my lord. I wasn't expecting Choice Scarf, so we're going to go for another Body Slam. That's obviously going to take out the Mamoswine, because Purugly is a beast. Purugly is a beast. I don't see how Purugly Body Slammed the Mamoswine to death, but hey-ho. Here we are. That's the scenario we're in. In comes Shelby, which is, of course, the Gastrodon. So Gastrodon comes in. We're in a very good position for Exeggutor to sweep now. We're in a very good position. So we'll go for a Body Slam real quick. I don't see any reason not to. There we go. Body Slam comes through. It's going to do a solid chunk of damage to the Gastrodon, as they're able to go for an Ice Beam. We do have Thick Fat, though, and that means we're going to be able to take that. So, wait, do we have Thick Fat? Is it Thick Fat that we have, or is it Oblivious? I can never remember between the two on Purugly. I'm pretty sure it is Thick Fat, though. Pretty sure it is Thick Fat. No, we're actually Defiant, so we just took that with our natural bulk. So we're going to go for another Body Slam real quick, and that's going to do a decent chunk of damage to the Gastrodon. Yada, yada, yada. They go for an Ice Beam. That's going to take out Purugly. And now we get to finish up with Exeggutor. I'm pretty sure we finish up with Exeggutor here. I'm pretty sure we finish up with Exeggutor. Because the Claydol doesn't outspeed. The Claydol's on its last legs. The Gastrodon's on its last legs. And it definitely doesn't outspeed the Exeggutor. So I'm pretty sure we're good to go. I'm pretty sure we're good to go with Exeggutor. So there we go. Exeggutor comes in. We're going to go ahead and go for a Giga Drain. It's a shame we couldn't get the Petaya Berry. But you never know. They might outspeed us. They might outspeed us. Nope, they don't. They're going to go down to a Giga Drain. They couldn't exactly do anything there. As now they've got the Claydol in the back. Yeah, it's a shame the Petaya Berry couldn't get activated then. It's a real shame. Like, I'm pretty sure that Exeggutor could have lived an Icicle Crash from the Mamoswine. And we could have gone for a Giga Drain and taken it out like a Chad. But we don't. So, in comes the Claydol. And Claydol can't really do anything to us, so we're just going to go for a Giga Drain again. They might explode. They might explode, to be honest with you. They go for a Rapid Spin. That's not going to do anything to us, of course. I'm guessing that's their only attacking move they have. As Giga Drain is going to be able to finish off the Claydol, no problems. And that is going to be the game. So GG Operator. That was a pretty fun game. I'm glad we got to showcase Exeggutor being awesome. I mean, my opponent had a mono ground team, so we knew Exeggutor was going to do well. We definitely knew it was going to do well. Really good plays by my opponent with a Torterra, Rock Polish and everything like that. Was really good to see. So thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.